Hollywood is the ultimate dream for anybody working in show business. But a weird thing's been going on here recently. The Brits are taking over the place. 1 in 3 pilots in Los Angeles last year featured a British actor. The Americans love us. You might just say, America's got our talent. But why are Hollywood execs falling over themselves to open the doors to Brits when they have so many of their own homegrown stars sitting here absolutely desperate for a slice of that Tinseltown pie? Los Angeles, city of angels. Well, I'm not sure about that, but of late it's certainly been heavenly for a good few of us Brits, even me. Now I know you're thinking, if Piers Morgan can make it in Hollywood, anybody can. But don't be fooled. Tinseltown's a tough nut to crack, and it'll just as easily spit you out and leave you to rot. So I'm about to take a roller coaster ride through Hollywood to find out what some of our most successful exports think is the key to their success here in LA.
Showtime, man.
Showtime.
Is it our impeccable British manners?
Even if we're saying shit bollocks, it sounds nice.
Is it that we're completely genuine?
It all looks quite natural from here.
Bang! Wouldn't you like to know?
Yes.
Or is it just our pure talent?
I'm a actor here. That's the thing, I'm getting away with it as well.
But it's dog eat dog on the mean streets of Hollywood, and I'll be taking a look at the agony and the ecstasy of trying to make it in this town, and weighing up not just the price of fame, but also the price of failure. I'm off down the coast to a secret location. There's a shoot taking place for Scary Spice Mel B's highly confidential new project.
Ready to roll, boys? So, Mel, here we are on the set of your fitness video, which is coming out in the new year.
You are, oh my God, I want to kill you. I told you not to mention that. But anyway, go and buy it since you mentioned it. Buy my fitness DVD called Totally Fit.
It didn't take you long, did it?
God dang.
Let's talk more about Hollywood, because
Yes.
you are a very successful Brit in Hollywood now.
It's quite shocking that Hollywood has accepted me for me.
Why have they?
Because I'm so raw and I say exactly what I think. You know, it's kind of walking that fine line. People will either love you or hate you. And Hollywood's kind of embraced that crudeness.
And obviously, back in Britain, you will be forever Scary Spice to most
Good.
people, which is no bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. It's
No,
a good thing.
It's a good thing. But out here, do they care that you were a Spice Girl? Is it important, or can you just reinvent yourself
You
quite
can
easily?
reinvent yourself like that out here. I'm a singer, I'm a mother, I design clothes, lingerie, I do fitness. I do absolutely everything. And the fact that I'm scary makes people not be scary to me. Get it?
You are genuinely quite scary, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I think I'm just really honest and open, and I say what people would be thinking. I say it.
But I always feel
You're
with you,
so
on,
sexy, Piers.
please. You're only embarrassing yourself now. If we could return to the interview, that would be great. When you were in the Spice Girls,
Oh, here we go. What is the question? Brief me first.
I'm not asking you about your many problems. I'm asking you about this. I'm asking you, when you were all Spice Girls, did
Yes.
you ever imagine in your wildest dreams you would all basically end up in Beverly Hills?
No.
Well, it's weird, isn't it?
No, it is kind of weird. I knew that I wanted to get away from England to take a break. I didn't know I was going to end up living here permanently and loving it. I've been here 6 years, so for now, this is my home.
You're a Hollywood babe.
Thank you. I'm so not.
So it seems as if Mel's got what she wanted, what she really, really wanted. Clearly, LA takes you at face value. So it is a classless society, where the hierarchy is based on success. And when you make it in LA, the rewards are phenomenal. Only here could a UK comedy actor find himself seriously in the money. Hugh Laurie's reportedly earning $400,000 an episode. That's $9.6 million a series for House. Is it any wonder that so many Brits are clamouring for their shot?
Traditionally, we Brits have always had niche roles in American movies. The aristocratic posh gent, the James Bond cool, the bumbling Hugh Grant character, and the idiot Mr. Bean. And then, of course, there's the villain.
When he's not training the Hollywood All-Stars or being glassed, hard man Vinnie Jones is making movies out here, about 40 of them, from X-Men to Gone in 60 Seconds. He's on about $1 million a flick and playing a blinder.
Vinnie, you haven't lost any of your magic then. It's all a bit of nifty footwork there.
Don't preach it if you can't teach it, Piers.
You look like you're loving this. This looks to me like you're real passion here.
Yeah, it's great stuff, isn't it?
Vinnie keeps the British theme going by taking the lads for a full English breakfast. And believe me, there's nothing over easy here. He certainly hasn't bought into Hollywood's pretensions.
You've made movies with some of the biggest stars in Hollywood, haven't you?
Yeah.
I mean, give me some names that you've worked with.
I've worked with Brad Pitt, John Travolta, Angelina Jolie, Robert Duvall, Benicio del Toro.
I mean, do you ever pinch yourself, in all honesty? What do you
I think they pinch themselves, Piers.
Do they all know, the non-English ones, do they know about your background as a professional footballer?
Yeah.
But does the Hollywood set know that? Do they care that you used to be a footballer? Do they even know you were?
No, they know me as an actor.
Well, who are the Americans here? Why
Dan, our goalkeeper.
Why is Vinnie a movie star? Why is he so popular?
I think it kind of, embodies the whole brashness, the bluntness, and like his, badass demeanor. I mean, it's shocking because everyone here is like so fake to your face.
He's right what he's saying. It's so flaky here. Oh, we must have lunch. Let's have lunch then. When? Like Wednesday? Would that do? And they don't mean it, do they?
Do you like the Americans in Hollywood?
They've all got a job to do, but, they're all terrified of losing their jobs. I went in, the director loves me last week. So, to me, I should have the job, right? It's got to go now through 20 people, all getting a wage, which me and you could live on comfortably for the rest of our lives. That's the bad part about it all. And they do act different to us, and I think, say it how it is, because it's an hard act to keep up. If you're going to be nicey up people's arses, it's an hard thing to carry on for, weeks and weeks and weeks and months and years.
You seem to be taking it all in your stride, as always.
They don't affect me, Piers, and I was driving along on my Harley Thursday, going along Mulholland Drive, just thinking, where did it all go wrong?
So, according to Vinnie and Mel B, the secret is when you say have a nice day, mean it. But is making it in the world's acting capital really about not putting on an act? Yeah. I'm off to see just how much we Brits can get away with over here.
Oh my God, what's he gonna say next?
Why the Americans have taken such a shine to us.
Part of it is the nature of the accent and this implied intelligence with that accent.
I like the word implied.
Well, yes.
And meet the former gang chief who charges $500 an hour to turn your life around.
Which would you say was the tougher assignment, running a gang in Chicago or trying to prop up her career in Hollywood?
Definitely running a gang in Chicago.
In LA, they don't care about your past. They're only interested in where the next dollar's coming from. As long as we Brits continue to help them make money, we'll be welcome with open arms.
It's not just our on-screen talent that's setting this place alight at the moment. Hollywood's buzzing with homegrown British TV formats. From Anne Robinson's Weakest Link to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, Hell's Kitchen with Gordon Ramsay, American Idol, Simon Cowell, America's Got Talent with Sharon Osbourne and myself. Even The Office and Little Britain have come here in Americanized versions.
So clearly, British is hot at the moment in Hollywood because we've thrown off our traditional reserve and are giving the Americans a lesson in blunt, straight talking.
Morning. Thank you.
I'm not doing too bad myself, thank you very much, playing Mr. Nasty in America's Got Talent.
It'll be dramatic tonight.
It's going to be very exciting.
And I wonder what my fellow judge on the show, David Hasselhoff, made of it all.
Why do you think Brits are currently taking over Hollywood?
I think you guys are like breeding rats. I mean, it's like there's more and more of you everywhere I turn around. I mean, it's like this is called America's Got Talent. We got 2 bridges a judge.
Please welcome Pierce Morgan.
Why do people like us here?
Because people are so taken aback with your rudeness and the fact that you're so direct. They're so, oh my God, what's he gonna say next?
Can I be frank with you? I am beginning to hate the sight of you.
Brits speak their mind, and I think that Brits do it in a way that is charming. It's not really that abrasive when you think about it because of the way we speak. It sounds nice even if we're saying shit, bollocks, or I hate you, or I love you. It sounds nice.
No, because I don't agree with anything you ever say.
Exactly, even though I'm usually right.
No, you're not. Don't be ridiculous. I am.
You know, Americans like to be nice to everybody and have a nice day. But it's bullshit. It's not real.
Funny thing is, you're saying what everybody's thinking.
Driving along Sunset Boulevard into Hollywood, all you see are these enormous billboard posters. A constant reminder that this place is essentially about big business. Success here equals shed loads of cash for the stars, for the networks and studios, and for those sinister men in grey suits. There's a lot riding on who gets cast and what shows get made. US box office receipts for 2007 total over $9.5 billion, and TV advertising is worth $66 billion a year. In the current economic climate, Hollywood's keener than ever to ensure they back only the winners. I decided to go straight to the top, to the man responsible for bringing a whole host of UK TV shows to America, including The Office and Little Britain. The co-chairman of NBC Entertainment and NBC Universal, Ben Silverman. Ben, you're running a big network here, and you cut the bill of the thrusting, dynamic, handsome, powerful network chief, right? But lurking in this utopia, there is a lot of bitching, backfighting. How much of this is a myth, and how much of it is pretty brutal when you get down to it?
I think, you know, I can either represent, you know, the worst nightmare at the end of the rainbow and with a Dolce & Gabbana suit on, or I can represent heaven and a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And that's what LA has been to a million people. The same image has worked as a negative and a positive. Here, it's all about commerce, all about money, and that's straight out from the beginning.
I mean, are you really only as good as your next hit here? Is that a reality, do you think, of the Hollywood entertainment
I mean, there's
world?
Definitely a kill or be killed attitude, but there's also a transparency of this is a business.
What is it about the Brits right now that's so popular?
Part of it is the nature of the accent and this implied intelligence with that accent.
I like the word implied.
Well, yes, but one of the things I will say about British actors is they don't arrive necessarily wanting to be famous. Here, much of the talent entered this world because they wanted to be on television from the day they started. And I think we're looking to places like England where the craft is as important as the result.
So they are interested in the craft, but only if it helps to make more cash. Maybe that's where us Brits come in. One thing I've picked up on here is a sense of eternal optimism that pervades the town. As a foreigner in Hollywood, you're no longer restricted by the boxes we tend to confine ourselves to back in Britain. You can simply come over here, armed with your funny accent, and reinvent yourself, be whatever you want to be, and take all the risks that back home you simply wouldn't take. Maybe it's down to the weather, the incredible beachfront, and the general California cool, but anything goes here.
Like a sound you hear that lingers in your ear, but you can't forget from sundown.
If you're not happy with your work, your flat, or yourself, there's always someone who can fix it.
It's all in the air, you hear it everywhere, no matter what you do, it's gonna grab hold on you.
Everyone seems to see shrinks or have a psychic. They even have dog psychics. Nothing is a lost cause in LA, so it's no surprise to find it girl Lady Victoria Harvey out here. So, Lady Victoria, in Britain, it'd be fair to say that, a bit like me, your reputation is, you know, a little bordering on the controversial. Whereas here, I guess, you come as Lady Victoria. Doors must open up quite nicely here, do they?
They do, but it's still a lot of work. I actually came here, you know, I'm not really using the whole Lady Victoria Harvey thing, but I do realise that it's such a great opportunity.
Hang on, you must be using it.
Now I am. You know,
of course you're using it. I mean, in Hollywood, they want to have Lady Victoria. It sounds good. It sounds like Lady Diana, you know.
I know. Well, we are. We're actually related. I
Really?
just found out. Yeah,
Wow.
related. Yeah.
OK, so here you are. You're Diana's long-lost cousin.
Exactly.
She'd be so pleased to hear that, wouldn't she? But to be serious, I mean, what do you actually do here?
At the moment, I've got a production events company. I've got a jewellery line coming out. This is one of my little creations.
Nice little rock.
Here. Nice little rock. And just developing a couple of television projects.
I mean, do you think you're a bit of a star now here?
I think definitely in star in the making.
Yeah?
I shall be, yeah.
And you look like you really believe it, that you're going to be a star here.
I'm pretty positive. I think when you put out good energy, you get good things happening to you. And that's what I've been doing, and amazing things have been happening.
There's a line straight out of a Californian self-help manual if ever I heard one, except it's not. Lady V's very un-British self-belief owes an awful lot to one-time Chicago gang leader turned life coach to the stars, Pharrell Wilkes. And when I say owes an awful lot, I really mean it.
Hey, Pharrell, how are you? Come on, sit down.
All right. How you doing? How you doing today?
I'm pretty good, thank you.
That's great.
Which would you say was the tougher assignment, running a gang in Chicago or trying to prop up her career in Hollywood?
Definitely running a gang in Chicago. Definitely running a gang in Chicago, because the thing is, I just talk about common sense.
What do you think she's capable of?
I think she's capable to do anything that she ever wanted to do in life. And I always tell her one thing: fly with the eagles and never the sparrows.
That's very good advice.
Yes.
Sparrows always fly quite low, don't they?
Exactly. They fly quite low, and it'd be a bunch of them.
I mean, it's good patter, I'll give you that. I mean, how much do you charge for this kind of stuff?
I charge $500 an hour.
$500 an hour?
Yes.
For saying, fly with the eagles, not the sparrows?
No, actually, I go a little bit intense with that, because it's a bit more than just flying with the eagles. It's all about, you know, conditioning your mind.
But what's the goal? What's he helping you get to?
His job was like getting me focused to be able to deal. I know what I'm doing. I just needed to get focused and do it.
So, money well spent then, from your point of view?
Definitely.
Those prices, most people could probably only afford to fly with the pigeons. But frankly, the majority of the folk here in LA fly with the fairies. I've come to CBS Studios to meet a man who could confirm that here, truth really is stranger than fiction.
All right, rehearsal. So here I am on the set of The Young and Restless, one of America's longest running and most famous soap operas. And that there is the famous interior designer to the stars, Martin Lawrence Bullard. Now the great twist about this is he's playing himself, Martin Lawrence Bullard, the interior designer to the stars, only in Hollywood.
You could say it's a role that Martin's been preparing for all his life.
You know, I was thinking bamboo. It's environmentally friendly. And then we could use these rugs, you know, as accents.
So, Martin, I mean, this is life imitating art at its purest. You come to LA 12 years ago as a jobbing actor looking to be a star in a show, and you don't get that. You become an interior designer by default, and now you're in the show that you really wanted as the interior designer you become.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Crazy.
And I wonder, am I a soap star in real life or am I an interior designer in real life? It's very confusing now.
It must get confusing. But whose houses have you done? Give us a few A-list names that you've been involved
Well,
with.
funny enough, my dressing room here used to be Cher's dressing room, and Cher's one of my most ferocious clients. I'm doing 3 properties for her right now.
Really?
Elton John, Christina Aguilera, Edward Norton, Patti LaBelle. It is crazy.
If I wanted to hire you now, Martin, let's cut to the quick here. What's it going to cost me?
You know, my starting fees are around $100,000. That's just to hire me, and then there's percentages on top, and yeah, you need quite a good budget, Piers. I think we need to get you another show. But I work very hard for it, by the way.
Of course you do. I'm not, you look like a guy absolutely overrun with hard work, but that's an amazing business.
Yeah, it's a great business.
Is the Hollywood dream a reality?
I truly believe in the American thing that if you work hard enough, things happen for you here. It's there. I think that's why so many people come, have the draw of America, have the draw of Hollywood, because they know that if they push and work hard, things are going to happen for them.
Martin, let's just go ahead with everything we talked about.
Excellent.
When you can earn over $3 million a house, you may ask, why is Martin wasting time on a cheesy daytime soap? But in this town, everybody wants to be a star.
We were saying.
No wonder they call it La La Land. But beneath that amazing veneer, is there a darker side to Hollywood? A place gripped by paranoia, by bitching and backfighting, by plastic surgery, and by the trauma of the broken heart on the cutting room floor. Next on my journey, I find out the real cost of staying on top.
Titties,
Yes?
about 15 grand with the
Ozzy think they were worth it?
He likes them, I don't.
I learn about the enormity of the competition.
I went for like one line in 90210 the other week, and there was 40 of us there.
For one line?
For one line in 90210.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
And I hear about heartbreak on the Sunset Strip.
There's nothing quite like driving down Sunset Boulevard and seeing a poster as big as a boat
building, yeah.
for a film or a TV show that you didn't get but auditioned for.
So you've got the talent, you've got the self-belief and the determination. But before you board the plane to Hollywood, perhaps there are a few warning stories I should share with you, because fame costs, and this is where you start paying. Americans don't do ugly very well. The networks hate it, and advertisers don't want to be associated with it. Over here, looks aren't just important, they're everything. And that constant pressure to be perfect is something that every newcomer to LA eventually has to deal with. I'm driving an hour out of LA to get the lowdown from an expert in survival. The his and hers Bentleys on the drive leave me in no doubt that I've arrived at Chateau Osborne.
Do you want orange juice or do you want coffee? You coffee, right? I'll have the orange
I
juice,
think
then
so.
I'm done. And the cake.
Sharon and Ozzy have just moved out here to avoid the paparazzi in West Hollywood. What an amazing house.
Isn't it great?
So you've been here about a year, yeah?
Just a year, yeah. Still not finished yet, but...
Stunning views.
Isn't it? That's why we came here. Just unbelievable.
Tell me why you wanted to come here, though, because it's a good hour to get here.
It's kind of like been there, done it, had enough of it.
Sharon may well have had enough, but what I was interested in was what exactly she'd had done. What's the reality here? How many of the stars here do you think do spend a lot of money on work, as they would call it?
I would say everybody that works on camera or in the industry has something they'll have had done. Everybody over 30.
I mean, you literally look 20 years younger. Thanks to who?
Thanks to my good surgeon that I have. It's all down to him, Piers.
I mean, let's price things up here, Sharon. What does it cost to develop this extraordinary torso?
Say a facelift here can go from anywhere from 10 grand to 30. But you get what you pay for. If you want to come out and look like you've just come back from space, you know, you can get one of those.
And your gnashes are particularly good.
My gnashes,
much
because
were
they're
they?
not that white. Oh, God, the gnashes, they cost a fortune. I paid about 75 grand.
Really?
Yeah.
They're amazing.
They're not too white.
No, and without being too intrusive, as we move down...
Would you want the head?
Yes, the head. Let's have the head first,
The
yeah.
head was about 25 grand. Titties.
Yes?
Well, I've had them done twice.
And what would that set you back?
About 15 grand. With the
Ozzy think they
anaesthetic.
were worth it?
He likes them, I don't. So, you know, the lipo, I've been lipoed so much, it's like my body goes into shock when it goes into a doctor's surgery. It's like, no more lipo.
How important is it, though? I mean, do you think you would be on America's Got Talent if you hadn't spent all this money on improving yourself?
No, because I don't think that people want to really look at unattractive people on TV.
Well, I'm all right then. But with plastic surgeons keeping everyone out here perpetually young and beautiful, just how do you catch the eye of a passing casting director? There's a saying here in Hollywood that before a waiter will give you a meal, he gives you his script. Just about everyone you meet here is a wannabe writer or director, an actor or a producer. But what sets the Brits apart is their dedication to their art. What Hollywood people tell me is that the reason Brits are in such high demand is that there is a belief they just work harder. They've gone and trod the boards, they've gone to drama school, they've played in rough old pubs and clubs. They spent years perfecting their skill. And that's why the Brits right now are on top of the game. But when you've had a blockbuster or two, you still have to work hard to justify your place in Hollywood. Johan Grufford, star of ITV's Hornblower and the $330 million grossing Fantastic Four, met his wife Alice Evans when they co-starred in the film 102 Dalmatians. I mean, you've now had some big movie success. I guess the perception back home is that that entitles you to take it easy and walk into endless big roles, but it's not really like that here, is it?
Not at all. There is an abundance of talent, an abundance of great people available to directors and producers, so they can get the pick of the best.
It's 100 times harder. 100 times harder. I think there are 500,000 actors in Los Angeles.
Wow.
Unless you've been in a huge Hollywood blockbuster, you're not on that top 10, top 20 list. So you've just got to start again. And they're not even convinced that you can act. Sometimes they'll say, well, what about this girl for that? And I'll say, well, bring her in because we just need to see she can read the lines. And you feel, and there's nothing quite like driving down Sunset Boulevard and seeing a poster as big as a boat
building, yeah.
For a film or a TV show that you didn't get but auditioned for.
I didn't get cast in anything here in Los Angeles for 7 years.
It's true. He's been plugging for a long
I mean, that's incredible. You just kept going.
Yeah.
I did.
So if you were advising another up-and-coming British actor, what did you learn about how the system works here?
You have to learn to show off about yourself a little bit.
Yeah, that's key. Because we British have that tendency to say, well, I was in this film, but it was nothing really. And the Americans believe you, and they go, oh, so it was just nothing, it didn't come out. No, it came out. And you've got to keep stopping yourself. In a way, you've actually got to exaggerate slightly, and we really don't learn
We're
that.
too humble in Britain.
Maybe
strange coming from me, that, but...
Whether if it's false or not, well, yes, that's what comes across.
And do you believe you're a better actor for being in this community, for living here and working amongst these people?
I think so. I think I thrive on being surrounded by the best.
So if our established actors can sometimes find it hard, imagine how tough it is for the 500,000 actors still waiting for their first break, especially in the current economic crisis. Andy Newton-Lee had a successful career back home, appearing in top soaps from Hollyoaks to Casualty. He's been trying to make it here in LA for the past 3 years. So Andy, here we are at the epicenter of Hollywood with the huge billboards within easy grasp of you. How's it going?
I'm all right, thank you. Life is good, I can't complain.
No, I didn't mean that. What I meant was, how's it going getting your hands on these billboards with your head on them?
It's proving very difficult, Piers, I'll be honest with you. I went for like one line in 90210 the other week, and there was 40 of us there.
For one line?
For one line in 90210.
Did you get it?
No.
How many acting roles have you landed in 3.5 years in Hollywood?
You want the honest opinion? None.
Not one?
Not one.
I mean, that would, for most people, be quite soul-destroying. Why do you keep going here?
Because I'm that far. I'm that far.
Do you think you're that far?
No, my agents... no. The feedback I get, I get to network, I get callbacks, I have great friends here, the sun shines every day. If I'm not on a TV show, it's not the end of the world.
But it's what you really want, isn't it? If you're honest, it is.
I want serenity, Piers. I don't want a TV show. I want serenity, you know.
You don't want serenity.
I don't. No.
What a load of cock.
All right.
I want serenity. You've gone all LA. What's happened here?
All right, sure.
I want serenity.
I look up.
Not even the American stars have said anything quite as terrible as that. Why don't we try that question again? Because I'm not entirely sure that serenity was quite what you were looking for. You want to be on those billboards. You want to see Andy and your
Piers.
head.
Yeah, I do.
See, I admire your spirit, right? I do. And I think you've got guts and you've got a lot of front. But the bottom line is, you could be back in Britain having a very successful TV career.
Yeah.
You could be. Why bother when you've clearly had no real luck? I don't mean that in a derogatory way.
No, not at all.
Just in a factual way. What is it about Hollywood that's making you want to come here and do this?
Because I will get on 90210 on Gossip Girl. I will do it. I might do it when I'm 42. I'll keep going.
So you'll never give up, you don't think?
Never give up. Never give up. While I have life in me, I'll never get up.
Well, Andy, good luck, mate.
Thank you.
I'm right behind
Pleasure.
you.
Is that all right?
For now, Andy has to find serenity and the rent money running a relocation service for British actors moving to LA. It's easy to be lured by the twinkling lights of Hollywood, and easy to forget that in southeast LA, gang members are killing each other over a patch of turf. There are 7 murders here a week. Meanwhile, at a backpackers hotel in West Hollywood, a couple of young British comedians are in a completely different battle for survival.
I've been in America for about 3 years. A couple of things really bug me still about America, American people. Don't need to be that loud ordering a coffee in the morning, do you?
Now this really does take courage.
Please give it up for the wonderful Natalie Gray.
Natalie and Jason met on the comedy circuit and fell in love, which is by far and away the high point of their careers to date.
Much we appreciate you keeping your laughter in, so you guys are doing great.
The way things are going, I felt the urge to offer them some guidance. I called up with Jason and Natalie at their open plan office. It's a tough business out here, isn't it, for stand-ups? So when you play at the Comedy Store, as you both had, I mean, how long do you get?
Oh, anything from 3 minutes, right?
How can you be funny in 3 minutes? Can you?
Yeah, you can. It doesn't work for me so well because I'm more of a slow builder.
Bit of a rambler.
Bit of a rambler.
Not really big on jokes, really, are you, Dave?
Nah, it's, you know, I'm new age comedy. It's all about...
So you're
like,
the stand-up comedian with no jokes?
No, not really. It just takes me a while to get into my groove.
And are you more of a gag merchant?
Well, I probably have more jokes.
All right, well, come on, make me laugh.
They say that the first year of marriage is the hardest. I found it was the last.
It's not that funny, really, is it? I was laughing there.
Come on.
I quite like your delivery style. Your face made me laugh.
You know what? That's the hardest thing. When people find out that you're a comic,
right?
That's the first thing they do is go, make me laugh.
Yeah,
and you're
yeah.
like, oh.
That is the game you're in. I mean, you know, if it doesn't work, as most pipe dreams here don't, let's be real. How long do you flog the dead horse?
I was going to say it's worse than our mums. What are you going to do when it fails?
Yes.
What are you going to do when you've got no more money and no one's laughing?
It's my paternal side coming out.
I think we're missing a key ingredient here, that we have faith.
But it must be over time soul destroyed.
We are really happy. It's not like
It's all right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, is there anything you want to have a chat about? I mean, Natalie?
Well...
See, this stuff's quite funny.
People breaking up.
I think I've got it for you. I think you two should go out on stage and do that. It's funny.
Maybe I'm just too optimistic.
I think the glass is very full with you, isn't it, Jason?
It's overflowing.
Whereas Natalie's glass appears to be slightly more grounded.
It took me a year of knowing Jason to believe that he didn't take antidepressant.
Oh, yeah.
You see, this is great material, right? Finally, you're making me laugh, the pair of you.
Excellent. Well, what we should do in true comedy fashion is get off while the going's good.
So I've experienced the harsh realities on the quest for success. But once you've made it, what's it really like? I'm off to get my own taste of fame. This is lunch at the Ivy. Check out if 80s heartthrob Matt Goss will be famous again. And an English Rose tells me about a hard day at the office.
What did you do today, honey? Well, I had to make out with a 30-year-old guy who was really hot.
So, we have found out that the Brits are back in fashion. That if they have the talent and tenacity, they can reach that elusive goal of success and fame. But what happens once you succeed? Can fame last? And to ensure you stay on top, you'll suddenly need a whole load of new friends. Agents, publicists, PAs, stalkers, and of course, the paparazzi. The business has become ever more competitive, with photos selling for thousands of dollars a time, and it's no wonder that every man and his dog has joined the pack. But surely no one will be that interested in little old me and a few of my chums. To check it out, I set up a curious lunch party. Ozzy, Sharon, Mel B and her husband, and stars of MTV's The Hills, Heidi and Spencer, at LA's famous Ivy restaurant. Say cheese, everyone. So here we are, just 36 minutes after our lunch at the Ivy ended, and already the pictures are flashing around the world to the news desks and picture desks of magazines, newspapers, TV stations. I've got 3 in front of me now. One is a picture website, one's a video blog site, and the third one is Perez Hilton, the king of Hollywood gossips. All of them totally bemused as to what we're doing. But what it shows you is the unbelievable speed of celebrity news these days, and the fact that, hey, never let the facts get in the way of a cracking picture. LA was an inspired location to set up the Splash Picture Agency, another biggest agency in the world, with offices in LA, New York, Miami, and Tokyo. It's owned by Brits Kevin and Gary. This is your LA operation. Talk me through what I'm looking at here.
Yeah, not even you can get away from us, Piers, I'm afraid. So you've got the Osbournes there, there's you in the background coming out of the Ivy. And the reason we can control that all from here is because over here on the left we have basically a GPS map of the movements of all the photographers. And it saves them having to keep texting and calling us in. We're tracking their movements and the parking lot.
For a couple like the Beckhams, is there any escape from the Splash operation?
Well, we find most of the time they want to be seen anyway, especially with the Beckhams. When they come to town, they're here to be seen, to show off their brand. So most of the time, if we're not there, they worry about where we actually are.
I mean, I suppose the devil's advocate is, look, do you guys have any morals at all, or ethical code, or is it anything's fair game?
Well, they say in America that everyone has a right to annoy everyone else.
Would you ever have any sleepless nights?
No, none at all.
See,
you know that.
Of course, it's nice to pay you guys, so I know how good you are, and I know that, morals and scruples when you're dealing with celebrities, it's an interesting area, because in my experience of celebrities, most of them, is that they like being photographed as long as it's on their terms.
When you earn as much money as they do, I mean, they earn way more than the President of the US and probably have just as much influence on the pop culture. They're really up to be scrutinised.
And with such a high moral code, it's no wonder that Gary and Kevin have made a mint. Gary drives an Aston Martin, and when not on dry land, this little plaything, a $350,000 business expense, just in case they happen upon a celebrity strolling on the beach. How many celebrities collude with you?
It's more and more now because I think paparazzi's becoming more mainstream. We're seen as part of the Hollywood PR machine, even if we're that slight naughty cousin.
So, Gary, if you caught me on Malibu Beach in 2 hours' time, snogging Angelina Jolie, and Brad Pitt's heart was broken, what would that picture be worth to you worldwide?
If that picture was a reason why their marriage failed, that picture would live on forever, and it'd be probably as high as $10 million over the lifetime of the picture.
$10 million?
Well, you're worth it.
For a fine Angelina. There it is again, money. In LA, you're only as good as your next dollar that you make for somebody else. No one cares where you've been, they only care where you're going. Just stop. Matt Goss, lead singer of 80s boy band Bros, came to LA to escape Britain's ferocious press and has made a whole new life for himself out here. He's recording with artists like Babyface, hanging out with the Pussycat Dolls and Sharon Stone, and about to release a new album. So he's doing all right up here in the Hollywood Hills, living next door to the likes of Kevin Costner. But when will he be famous again?
So this is my gaff.
This is your little humble Hollywood abode?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is why I try and stop myself
cool.
stop myself from going grey.
Is that your dog up there?
Yeah, one of them.
So Matt, here we are in your Hollywood chill out. I mean, it's a very cool place. Completely the opposite, I guess, to the craziness of Hollywood itself, and very different to the life that I remember you having as a Bros heartthrob.
I've always liked it very chill. Even back in those days, my place was chill, but I came to realise you can't really have anything unless you have a life, and the career goes after that.
It's a far cry from the days when Matt was more famous for being broke than being bankable.
I learned my lessons in front of the British public. I lost a great deal of money.
I think I wrote that interview. I think the headline was, "I'm skint," says Matt.
I think probably that was the truth, and...
But is a little bit of you bitter just about the media caricature that you had, probably to this day, back in Britain?
I felt that maybe I'm a bit underrated. You know, I'm definitely good. I feel I'm a good singer. I think I've written some good songs, and the reason I'm here is because I want to just be allowed to do what I do. I want to make music. I want to write books. I want to do what I do, and that isn't just the guy from Bros.
You must have been, since the success of Take That and Boyzone coming back and so on, you must have had big money offered to you.
Yeah, we have, and we've come really close to it. But Craig's running a record company. If that's what he wants to do, that's brilliant, and I know he's doing a great job. Luke's making successful movies, but I moved on. I don't know truly if the British media will let me move on, but I'm not going anywhere. If they think I'm going to stop making music or doing other ventures, it's never going to happen.
You'll know you've made it with the Brits when it says Matt Goss has hit record, not ex-Bros star Matt has hit record.
In LA, you can be what you want to be. Pop stars can become credible musicians. Actors can become interior designers. Footballers can become actors. Even ex-newspaper editors can become TV judges. The final stop on my journey is the ultimate location for any star at the top of their game. In this city, only one place matters, a secluded mansion in Malibu. I'm going to meet a British actress who survived out here for 30 years, in which time she's reinvented herself in a whole host of intriguing new ways.
I mean, here you've got the most extraordinary array of exotic fruit. I mean, what are these things here, do you think?
I think they're called loquats or something quats.
Quats, sounds good.
Jane Seymour grows all her own fruit and vegetables. She also paints, designs jewellery, writes books, produces movies, and makes documentaries. Phew.
This is not like a Hollywood house where everything's in place. It's where I work, it's where I raise kids, it's where
You've
we
got
edit
6
movies.
kids.
Yes.
Fabulous.
Well, thank you. Well, you know, what's great is the view. I mean, that's what's amazing, and the high ceilings. And, well, this is sort of kind of the living room, but it's also the dining room, because I think it's redundant having 2.
And it's another string to your bow, because you actually do interior design books, and you guide people through. And it's a fabulous book, because it's based on your house. This is it.
Well, I show people how to discover what their style is and how to put it together.
And 6 children later, she's just wowed America with their version of Strictly Come Dancing, and is still in hot demand as an actress.
After your success in Wedding Crashers, where your naked form was shown to the world...
My back, actually.
Well, it was good enough for me, to be honest, Jane.
And a couple of handfuls.
It certainly made my night. But back in Britain now, there's a big debate going on about older women being shunned from the TV screens. As it seems to me here, the older you have got, the more desirable you've become to the networks and the more vampish the roles you're playing.
I know.
I mean, you're getting your kit off all over the place.
I know, it's such a tough job. You know, I go to my office, you know, to the set, and what did you do today, honey? Well, I had a make out with a 30-year-old guy who's really hot. No, you know, I'm the cougar du jour. What can I tell you?
But you couldn't probably get away with that in Britain. It seems to be a different atmosphere there towards actresses, I think. They tell me here that every actress's favourite friend is her plastic surgeon.
Oh, well, that's not me.
Is that true?
Absolutely. If you look at pictures of me when I was 3 years old, I had bags under my eyes. And so I was told, you know, we'd have to do something about the bags. So about 17 years ago, I did whatever you could do to do the bags, but I still have bags. But
otherwise, your own naturel.
No, I fed too many children, and so we replenished the stock. But that was such a long time ago. I mean, all my friends, everybody I know that's in the business that's my age, has for years and years been doing stuff. And I don't even do facials. I think that's why I am acting right now. I think if you're an actress, you need to be able to frown and look worried and concerned and goofy sometimes. So it's kind of useful to have a few muscles moving. You know, Botox is not a good look.
What do you make of the current invasion of Brits to Hollywood in almost every aspect of entertainment?
You know what? Ever since I came here, there's been an invasion of Brits. I mean, there's always been. I mean, when I was around, you know, Joan Collins was here, Jenny Agutter was here.
When you first came out here, what was it like, Hollywood?
We were all kind of young actresses trying to make it out here. So I did go to sort of some parties and things. And, you know, in those days, you'd meet Warren Beatty. And it was a question of whether you went out with Warren Beatty or you didn't go out with Warren Beatty.
And just for the record?
I'm the only one that didn't.
It's great to see Jane and the other Brits doing so well out here. And maybe back home it's time to learn from their example and celebrate our stars' many talents and allow them to be whatever they want to be.
Who knows? We may even end up seeing Wayne Rooney as the next James Bond. So there it is, Hollywood, the absolute epicenter of the world of entertainment. Right now down there are hundreds of films and TV shows being made, thousands of deals going down, because this place is big business. Success equals dollars. And right in the crest of the wave and generating the really big bucks right now are the Brits. And why? Well, that's easy. Because Britain's got talent.